Hello, I'm Bernie Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Kansas City Public Library, the Blueford branch, and I teach at Johnson County Community College. And during the month of April, which is National Poetry Month, I am sharing some poems by reading them aloud, doing one poem per day, sometimes a couple of poems if they're fairly short. Today's poem is actually a somewhat longer poem. It's a poem by Robert Browning. Robert Browning was the husband of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Elizabeth Barrett Browning was Robert Browning's wife. And when they met, she was a famous poet. He was a rising poet. He lived much longer than she did and was apparently quite popular as a reciter of poetry in his later days. One of the types of poems that he was especially good at were what are called dramatic monologues, and these are either speeches delivered to someone, is a scene where someone's talking to another person. So My Last Duchess is such a poem where a duke is speaking to an artist and he's showing the artist his house, and they come across a portrait bust of the last Duchess. And then he talks about her and so forth. So it's a rather strange poem, but that would be an example. Soliloquy of the Spanish Cloister, which is the one that I'm going to read today, is an internal monologue. It's what this guy is thinking. And the main character in the poem is a monk. He's not named. He names his nemesis, though. His nemesis is Brother Lawrence, and he hates Brother Lawrence. And he was looking for ways in which Brother Lawrence fails to live up to his Christian duty to do the right thing or whatever. So, so that's the sort of thing that he's going on in his mind. And at the end of the poem, he is sort of jarred back into what he's supposed to be doing, which is praying. And he actually messes up the words of the Ave Maria. He messes up the word order, which indicates his frustration and his angst. So, this is Spanish. Soliloquy of the Spanish Cloister by Robert Browning. Grrr, there go my heart's abhorrence. Water your damn flower pots, do. If hate killed men, Brother Lawrence, God's blood would not mine kill you? What? Your myrtle bush wants trimming? Oh, that rose has prior claims. Needs its leaden vase filled brimming? Hell dry you up with his flames. At the meal we sit together. Salve tibi. I must hear wise talk of the kind of weather, sort of season, time of year. Not a plenteous cork crop. Scarcely dare we hope oak galls. I doubt. What's the Latin name for parsley? What's the Greek name for swine snout? Phew. We'll have our platter burnished, laid with care on our own shelf, with a fire new spoon we furnished, and a goblet for ourself, rinsed like something sacrificial, ere 'tis fit to touch our chaps, marked with L for our initial. He, there his lily snaps. Saint, forsooth. While brown Dolores squats outside the convent bank with Sanchica, telling stories, steeping tresses in the tank, blue-black, lustrous, thick like horsehairs. Can't I see his dead eye glow, bright as 'twere a Barbary corsair's? That is, if he let it show. When he finishes reflection, knife and fork he never lays crosswise, to my recollection, as do I, in Jesus' praise. I the Trinity illustrate, drinking watered orange pulp, in 3 sips the Aryan frustrate, while he drains his in 1 gulp. Oh, those melons. If he's able, we're to have a feast so nice. One goes to the abbot's table, all of us get each a slice. How go on your flowers? None double? Not one fruit sort can you spy? Strange. And I, too, at such trouble, keep them close-nipped on the sly. There's a great text in Galatians, once you trip on it, entails 29 distinct damnations, one sure if another fails. If I trip him just a dying, sure of heaven as sure can be, spin him round and send him flying off to hell, a Manichee. Oh, my scrofulous French novel on grey paper with blunt type. Simply glance at it, you grovel hand and foot in Belial's gripe. If I double down its pages at the woeful 16th print, when he gathers his green gauges, ope a sieve and slip it in't. Or there's Satan. One might venture pledge one's soul to him, yet leave such a flaw in the indenture as he'd miss, till, past retrieve, blasted lay that rose acacia we're so proud of. Hi, zi, hein. St. There's Vespers. Plena gratia, ave Virgo. Grrr, you swine. So, here set in the context of a Spanish monastery, a cloister monastery where they're not supposed, where the monks aren't supposed to really talk, except at refection at their meals. And here we've got this monk who clearly feels a lot of ill will, very unchristian. So it's sort of a funny poem, but also I think reflects the type of atmosphere you might get in closed quarters, like in a monastery.